Greetings and salutations, viewers. I'm StarPrincessHLC, and welcome back to Autumn's Journey. When we last left off, we were traveling around, talking to some more dragon shrines, or at least Kerr was, and doing some side quests to try and prove our worth as a knight. And we may be getting a slight hint of romance between our main protagonist and Kerr, but we're not 100% sure yet. Right now we're in the next dragon cave, I guess dragon shrine, and we're gonna get the information handed down this time. Let's see what happens. What should I tell him this time? The three of us were once again at one of the altars while Kerr mentally counted reports on his fingers. What about when I took you to the blacksmith? Seeing all those different types of weapons and armor was pretty neat. Or maybe how the Heavenkind keep hidden records? Ilmari cradled the book he held, which contained popular children's fairy tales. Aw. Ilmari, why do you keep carrying that around? You can't even read yet. I'm learning. Hey, don't knock that. Knowledge is power. He's allowed to try and learn. How many more visits or trips do you need to make anyway, Kerr? You're getting close, right? Something like that. Almost there, just a few more trips. Your master sure is vague. I hope Master Bedros isn't just stringing Kerr along indefinitely. Kerr glowered and we instantly hushed up, but exchanged sly smiles when he turned his back. Wait here, Aura. You as well. Oh, is he actually now starting to give us a nickname? Huh? But I was the guest of honor at all your little reports before, and you were getting better at them too. Although I wish you would stop hinting about how you would like to see a battle tournament in action. I'm not accepting those postings, and that's final. Kerr grumbled some more, but left anyway. I waited behind with Omari, who perused the book despite the low lighting in the cave and the crazy golden retrievers in the background. I unsheathed my sword and began some practice swings. My footsteps echoed softly through the tunnels as I readjusted my stance every so often. The blades sliced through the air, and I paused momentarily to look at Ilmari. Hey, Omari, do you think Kerr is hiding something? Possibly. You mean besides the fact that he's falling in love with you? Maybe. And you're not the least bit interested in knowing. He closed his book and sighed contemptibly. I'm sure he has his reasons. He's gruff, but he's a good person deep down, and straightforward. Does it bother you that much? I thumped my chest with a fist. Right. Of course it does. A knight is honest and forthright, and I value those virtues. Ah, yes, the virtues. You know, for someone highly interested in Heavenkind culture, you sure don't ask me much about knights. Well, although you're very passionate about the subject, I wouldn't want to bother you too much. It's because knights usually kill dragons, isn't it? I sheathed my sword, my eyes filled with determination. But it wouldn't be a bother at all! I would love to tell you everything there is to know. His ears perked up and he glanced down the tunnel. Ah, he's done. He should be here soon. Sure enough, Kerr re-emerged, proclaiming that the conversation with his master had ended on a high note. What did you tell him this time? About the time when you and Ilmari... What about me? You actually mentioned me? We both glanced at Omari in bafflement. He immediately piped down.
I'm sorry.
Sorry? I didn't think Kerr would ever bring me up. I'm kind of an embarrassment to him, I'm pretty sure. Why wouldn't I? We've been together long enough, and you're supervising me. Right. You're not supposed to be here, are you? As we started to leave, Ilmari halted in his tracks and glanced back apprehensively to where the altar was located. He lied, didn't he? He lied about being sent to watch over. He's just here of his own accord. He's probably not supposed to do it, right?
Well...
Is it permissible if you two go ahead without me? I wanted to examine the statue before, but I didn't want to interrupt Kerr. That's fine by me. Kerr? He gave a careless shrug, and Omari smiled gratefully.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you later. He vanished down the tunnel, and Kerr rubbed his chin in thought. Hey, Aurea, Do you think Ilmari isn't telling us something? I'm thinking that too. I bet you he wasn't supposed to be with us at all. He just showed up. What do you mean? Ilmari wouldn't hide things from us. You know how he is. I guess? I ushered Kerr toward the entrance and thrust some coins into his hand. I'll stay here. You go ahead and reward yourself with some apple tarts. There's enough for you to buy 5 of them. He jingled the money disappointedly. Just 5? Hey, y'all watch your figure, young man. Don't need a fat dragon on our hands. There's more than plenty. You shouldn't indulge in sugar-coated pastries so much. Or you'll be the first dragon with a cavity. But an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Granted, they didn't say anything about apple tarts, but it's got apple in it, right? I gave him a gentle push, and he reluctantly stepped forward, briefly glancing over his shoulder before continuing to the entrance. I folded my arms and turned in the direction of the statue, wondering if I should confront Ilmari or overlook his behavior. Curiosity won over, and I tiptoed toward the rear of the cave once again. What's the point of trying to eavesdrop? They have better hearing than I do anyway. I heard Ilmari's faint voice as I continued down the tunnel. It sounded contrite. I felt a pang of worry as I was torn between quickening my pace and remaining furtive. I sidled against the cave wall until I could hear Ilmari more clearly.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Master Kaya. I'm so sorry. I leaned over carefully, eyeing Amari. I half expected him to be kneeling like Kerr usually did, but instead he stood straight with a rigid back. He resembled a child being reprimanded for running off into the forbidden woods after a stern warning not to. He nodded solemnly, arms hanging limply by his sides. What? But it wasn't anything. I didn't think it'd be that serious. I'm merely an apprentice. I know it was imprudent of me. Yes. Can I at least stay until Kerr returns? What? Then this whole time? I sensed the conversation reaching a conclusion and decided to slip out. As I crept away, my scabbard smacked against the rock wall. I uttered a curse before I could stop myself. Drat! Darn it! Shoot. I slapped my forehead with an open palm. I do that enough times. That time it wasn't as hard, because it wasn't an actual face bump. I wasn't trying to actually hurt myself. Are you guys okay back there? You're making a lot of noise. Dogs, am I right? Amari must have heard that. There was no point in sneaking away now. Arlie, are you there? I know you were listening in the whole time. Well, not the whole time, just enough. I turned as Ilmari approached me. I gave him a sheepish look.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I heard you apologizing to your master. I'm assuming you did something? He shuffled nervously and rubbed his upper arm. Yeah. She wasn't impressed with me. At all. When I said I was sent to watch over Kerr, I lied about that, called it. So you were never actually ordered to supervise Kerr? Right. I basically ran away and joined you. Now it makes sense why you were avoiding those altar visits. But why would you need to... Because it's not fair. Amari's tempestuous outburst left me stunned, and his voice echoed throughout the tunnel. His hands trembled, and he clenched a fist so hard that his knuckles turned white. Whiter than he is he's pretty pale. It seemed as if all the frustration and bitterness he had concealed were finally beginning to surface. Why did he get to go? No, he was forced. Well, I was willing. I studied the Heavenkind language, observed as much as I could, practiced the transformation spell. And yet, he's the one who got sent. And Kerr doesn't care. He's not interested in Heavenkind or building a rapport with them. He quivered visibly. He probably felt ambivalent toward Kerr for quite some time, and yet it never expressed it. I couldn't bear to see him so upset. I stepped forward and embraced Ilmari, drawing him close. He shifted in the hug and rested his hands against my back, burying his face into my shoulder. I scrambled for something that could reassure him, but my mind was blank. You could always get him another shiny glass bauble. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for that. It's not like me to begrudge someone. And I'm tired of feeling this way. When Master Kaya mentioned what happened between Kerr and Master Bedros, I was envious and decided to see for myself. After Kerr casually asked if I was sent, I instantly saw an opportunity, so I said yes. I'm sorry I never told you both. I guess I was worried that if you found out, you wouldn't want me around anymore. I playfully ruffled his hair. Oh, please, like we would do that. Well, Kerr's a bit of a debate, but... Kerr might, exactly. I wouldn't let him. I could feel his shoulders shudder as he chuckled against me. Master Bedros is very open-minded about heavenkind, but Master Kaya is too wary. I begged her multiple times to send me as a representative, but she kept saying I wasn't ready. My heart sunk since I could relate to that, constantly being told how one wasn't prepared. I reluctantly parted from Ilmari, but gave both of his shoulders a reassuring squeeze. Maybe she was concerned about you. I could be wrong, but maybe she thought you weren't ready because you would get too emotionally invested or attached. You're very naive about this kind of stuff, not gonna lie. I would not. He meekly quieted down, but then reflected on the comment. Well, maybe. That's more like a definite. I admit, I tend to rely more on my feelings despite trying to be more sensible. I also get distracted a lot, and I'm too nosy for my own good. If I'm trying to help build a relationship between dragonkind and heavenkind, I need to be more rational. I don't know how Kerr treats everything so objectively. Objectively or with indifference in general? We chuckled. So what happens now? Will you be ordered back or will you be allowed to stay? He sighed despondently and pressed his pointer fingers together. I'm allowed to stay until Kerr returns. However, when I get back, punishment will be severe. I didn't think it'd be that bad, but...
What?
Huh? Why? Why will they punish you? I'm a knowledge keeper in training. I don't even specialize in anything yet, I just have the basics. However, a future knowledge keeper running away is, well, not good. Think of it as someone being responsible for all the books vanishing from the library, and it's the single source of knowledge people have access to in the city.
Yeah.
A lot of important things would be gone. Culture, art, literature. A knowledge keeper's responsibility is to inform other dragonkind, therefore they stay enlightened and pass knowledge on to their kin. And to make sure detrimental knowledge is only imparted wisely, since it could be used against others, my action could be viewed as treachery. He forced a small smile to comfort me, but I could tell he was extremely nervous about the consequences. Don't worry about it, Orly. This was my decision. I have no regrets. Alright. But if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. I'm sorry you felt like you couldn't tell us. I don't want you to be burdened with all this on your own.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Besides, I should start acting more rational. I've let my emotions get the better of me regarding certain... Certain? It's nothing, Orly. Well, it's something, but I need to talk to Kerr first. Don't worry, I won't press you about it. I trust you, Ilmari. I hope he's not developing a crush too, and then we're gonna get into some weird love triangle. I flashed him a genuine smile and his cheeks flushed modestly. And I'm sure Kerr trusts you too, even if he doesn't like admitting anything. Oh, bless you. Because then we heard a loud sneeze followed by Kerr's gruff voice. Oh no, I'm dead! Jamie, what's the matter? The doggies are crazy. I got Candy Cane over here who wants pets, and now I got Jamie over here who's crying. I don't know what's going on. And now he's wrestling with Brandy. What are the two of you still doing here? Kerr, I thought you were going to get apple tarts. I already did that, and I'm still hungry. God, I hope I'm not coming down with something. He rubbed his nose, then urged us to follow him outside. Amari and I exchanged amused glances, and I gave him a pat on the back. Good luck with the talk.
Thank you.
Thank you, we'll see how it works out. I doubt he'll try to chase you away at this point. You two seem to get along now. Took a while, but hey. Once we were in the open air, I fished out some more coins and thrust them into Ilmari's hand. Here, you know what to do. I gave him a supportive shove to urge him onward, then waved to Kerr. I have some errands to do. You two have fun without me for now. Kerr shot me an inquisitive look, but said nothing. It wasn't too unusual for me to run off to the guild headquarters or squeeze in some solo sword training. I almost thought that said sneeze. She sneezes sword training. Achoo! Oh, I know how to parry now. Come to think of it, all I had to do was announce I was doing night training and they would respectfully leave me alone. Quickly. I might as well do that anyway. I mentally wished Omari good luck and left on a different path. Oh. Let's see where this goes. Ugh. My shoulders hurt. My back hurts. My everything hurts. Even my nothing hurts. Why did I do that? What did I do? I flopped down on the bed of my assigned room. I groaned and rolled over, staring vacantly at the ceiling. I spent the rest of the afternoon training with some real knights, and now my thoughts drifted to Kerr and Ilmari. I wondered how their conversation went, probably with somebody dead. I glanced out the window, which provided a nice view of the gardens and the dark blue sky. Should I check up on them? Grabbing my blanket to use as a shawl, I exited the lodge and took a stroll in the garden. They would usually be here? Sometimes Kerr slept in the trees while Amari nestled by a trunk. After some more searching, I was about to give up when I spotted a leg by one of the trees. Remaining quiet, I tiptoed over. Yeah, I tipped myself over like a cow. Moo. Tiptoed over and saw Kerr sleeping peacefully against the bark. Beside him was Ilmari, his head leaning against Kerr's shoulder. Aww, that's so cute! Aw, I guess it worked out. It was then that I noticed how cold the air felt against my cheeks. Many of the trees were half bare and leaves piled up on the grass. A subtle, crisp freshness lingered with each breath. It was definitely autumn. Are they getting cold? I mean, to be fair, they're probably cold-blooded, so they might just adjust the temperature, but that could also cause problems too. So yeah, you should probably actually give them something warm. I did not want to disturb them, but decided to leave my blanket. After I knelt down, I carefully spread it out and was about to drape it over their bodies. However, Kerr stirred. As he sat up, Amari slipped off his shoulder and fell back onto the trunk. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to wake you two. Amari groaned and rubbed one eye, giving Kerr a pouting glare. Ow, what was that for? You make me... He trailed off when he spotted me. Kerr clicked his tongue in embarrassment. What are you doing here? I sleep up there. What are you doing here? I wanted to see if you two were all right if you were getting cold. Amari lowered his eyelids in disappointment. What were you thinking? That's all? Huh? For a second, I thought you were going to join us. This could have such weird implications, but I'm fairly certain this is not where it's going. I dropped the blanket hastily and jumped back, waving my hands frantically in front of me. No, I was just checking up on you. Heavenkind don't engage in snuggling with friends. Okay. Tell that to the friends who do snuggle. But we've been with you for quite some time now, and the fact we've never bonded feels like we're distant. My eyes started between them hesitantly. Wait, is this a common thing amongst dragons? Do you guys snuggle a lot? If so, please, that's awesome. I mean, snuggling dragons, how adorable does that sound? Does it really feel like that? Kerr glanced down, saying nothing, while Mari gave me a pleading look. After some vacillation, I sighed and grabbed the blanket before taking a step toward them.
Yeah.
Fine, but just for a little while. Unlike you, I could probably freeze to death. I turned around right as Omari shuffled out of the way to give me room to sit down between them. You guys don't want to sit on the bench? It's probably more comfortable than just on the ground. Just saying. I don't plan to stay here all night, and she's gonna end up staying here all night by accident. You watch. I trailed off as Omari leaned back against a tree close enough that his arm gently grazed mine. My shoulder reclined against Kerr, who had one leg sprawled straight and another tucked in. So, I guess Omari talked to you earlier, Kerr? Yeah, for a little one, he sure carried a lot of resentment toward me. There was a small groan of protest from Ilmari's lips. I'm older than you. You don't act it. It was obvious he heard our talk, but was too tired to join the conversation. I chuckled. And it's not like he was the only one hiding something. Really now, what would you reluctantly like to admit to me this time? As I snuggle with you beneath this tree in the midst of this lovely night sky.
Shut up.
No. I'm narrating. I stuck out my tongue to show I was just teasing him. Candy Cane doesn't care. She's just constantly begging for chest scratches.
Whoops, sorry about that.
Sorry, so what is it? He closed his eyes and grit his teeth, and I could hear him inhale deeply.
Look,
I could have returned earlier if I wanted to. The curse was offered to be lifted a while ago. Wait, you could turn back to an earth dragon any time? Yeah, although I need to visit an altar first since my master still has to remove the curse. But if I do, I won't be able to assume Heavenkind form without Master Bedro's help. Unlike Amari, I didn't bother learning the transformation spell. And of course, he probably won't transform me a second time, not after I refuse to return right away.
Oh no.
Wait, so both of you are in huge trouble now? He suppressed a chuckle. Something like that. We're fugitives! On the run! It's kind of weird, isn't it, if you think about it? Then why aren't you going back? There's no reason for you to stay here anymore. Or,
leave it to me.
I'm not returning until Amari is satisfied learning about Heavenkind culture, and until you become a knight. Aww, he does like us! I want to see it. You as a real knight. My heart leapt up in my chest and my lower lip quivered. He likes us now! Kerr, you really care about that? My dream? It's important to you, right? Kerr. I leaned over and embraced Kerr, genuinely touched. I sensed his arms hovering awkwardly around me.
Whoa!
What is this parasitic gesture? What are you doing? It's called a hug. Heavenkind use it to express affection between friends. Or more than friends, Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more. And right now, I'm really happy. I'm probably gonna cry. Please don't cry. I never know how to act when that happens. And what does one do in reply to this hug? He's got a point. It's like, sometimes it's like, they're crying, and you don't know why. Do you really want to get involved? I don't know. Usually hug back. I felt his arms waver before they enveloped my upper back. We remained in this position for a few minutes. Kerr gently nudged my forehead with his before pulling away in embarrassment. I adjusted the blanket to make sure Ilmari was comfortable. And then he'll wake up and is like, "Can I have a hug, Jew?" You guys, I don't want you two getting into more trouble because of me.
Leave it to me.
It's our decision, and it's not like we'll get reprimanded further. We'll remain with you until you return to Barry at last.
Thanks.
Thank you. It felt strange. Just the notion of them leaving seemed far off, and I realized I had never really thought of it until now. I closed my eyelids and nestled against Kerr's arm, while one hand rested on Omari's shoulder. These two. Both are wonderful friends. I let out a small chuckle as my eyes drifted between their sleeping faces. How did those two become so close to my heart in such a short time? I let out a happy sigh, extremely thankful that I had met both of them. I guess I could remain here for a few more minutes. Aww. Next chapter. Next chapter. The last quest. Oh man. Only 8 chapters, huh? I'm assuming if I had gone a different route with these guys, I probably would have gotten a different response in that. I don't know. I don't know if it is like an option that you can actually romance Ilmari or Kerr. I'd like to think maybe, but I don't know. I don't want to just automatically assume that. But I wonder if there was going to be more options depending on the choices that I had made. I don't know. Oh well. I guess we'll be heading off for the last quest in the next chapter/episode. But for now, this is StarPrincessHLC saying thank you very much for watching, and have a fond farewell.